The Asian Development Bank out with its outlook for Asia, and it's looking like the downsides could outweigh the positives. Let's talk more. Iwan Azis is joining us, head of the Office of Regional Economic Integration at the ADB, in a first on CNBC interview around the desk here with us at the SGX. Iwan, great to see you, and welcome to the show. So tell us about this outlook.
Well, I mean, as you just mentioned, basically the last couple of months, we noticed that the external conditions, European situation, the US situation, is not improving significantly. And as a result, it affects the forecast for the region, for Asia in general. And
you don't buy the recovery in the US?
Well, we're buying it, but the recovery is very slow. Okay. Very slow. It's definitely slower than many would like to have. Because, as you know, Asia is still dependent on the global economy, especially on G2, which is Europe and the US. So anything happen with G2 will have some impact.
But China stabilizing, troughing, and possibly recovering, that's not going to help?
Yes. Even though the word recovery is not necessarily correct, because China is just slowing down. It's not really in a big trouble in the past. But if we are just looking at the number in terms of the growth rate, you're right. It's expected to pick up from this year.
That's not going to help offset G2 weakness?
Well, it will affect the East Asian, because as you know, China and East Asian economies are so closely linked. So what happened with China, it may affect the East Asia. Now, there are some parts, some components of the economy that we are still not too optimistic, and that is the trade. Because, as I said, Asia has been so dependent on the G2. The good news is that has been compensated by increased intra-regional trade. So that sort of, saved the region's trade from collapsing because of the G2 slowdown.
This is a good time to talk about this. You're head of integration at the ADB. For Southeast Asia, you've got this AEC common block coming up 2015. How are things going on that front?
It's doing well, and I personally do not like to see AEC 2015 as a hard target numbers, So I think what is remarkable about AEC is that...
You don't think they're going to make the target?
No, I don't think all the target that was written there is going to be met by 2015. Okay. But as I said, I don't think we should see it from the hard number target. I think we should see it as a consensus that is really significant in the sense that they are thinking about community. Remember, this is not about cooperation. This is not about even partnership, because now the buzzword among all this regional cooperation is partnership. But they are talking about community. This is way dramatic achievement that the member countries is willing to set up a community. I think it's going to be very positive from the economic side, because imagine if, for example, Malaysia is trying to attract foreign investors. They are not just telling this is Malaysia, but this is 10 ASEAN countries. So from the investors' point of view, prospective investors' point of view, this is a big market.
Let me ask you very quickly. Yeah. You're here giving a seminar on Asia's local currency bond markets, and investors overseas in the biggest markets in the world, they love these as investment instruments. Are you worried about the money that's coming in here?
Yes and no, depending which type of money that is coming in. In fact, that's precisely the outcome of our study. See, one thing that we have to worry is really if most of these capital inflows are going through the debt market, especially the debt market that is intermediated through the banking sector, because that can lead to procyclicality. And procyclicality means the disconnect between financial sector and the real sector will be even wider. Because one of the weaknesses in the Asian economy now is there is a disconnect. The financial sector growing very fast, but the real sector is not as fast. So if this procyclicality is happening, it may exacerbate the problems.
All right, well, thank you.
I'm sorry? Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. Interesting. That was Iwan Azis there of the ADB, the Asian Development Bank.